Michigan State at Illinois, number 16 Illinois. And this deserves a bit of a celebration because this is Illinois' very first appearance on the CFP. So something good is happening over there. Yeah, let's a big round of applause for Belima.
Good job.
This is the 48th meeting between Michigan State and Illinois. Michigan State leads the series 26-19-2. Illinois has won the last two. Looking at the stats and the history of these two teams, they're not much different, to be honest. They seem to be very similar in what they've done over the last 50 years. In this case, Illinois is favored by 17. And I don't know how much of that is factored in from what transpired last weekend with the loss of 8 players, but nevertheless, Illinois is charging forward, and they're favored by 17 in this game. Now, Michigan State, we talked about them a little bit in the opening. 8 defensive players have been suspended, although from what I could tell, it sounds like Jacoby Windman may be the only key player of the 8. I hate to discount the other 7 players, but the only one anybody's talking about is Jacoby Windham or Windman.
Windman, yeah.
So if he's the only real standout player, it sort of thins out the bench, but maybe it doesn't hurt Michigan State's game as much as we might think. I do think that Michigan State is probably in panic mode. I'm guessing they're having a hard time talking about anything else except what happened in the tunnel, which is going to disrupt practice, which is mean they aren't going to be ready for this game. They've only got 3 wins on the season. They need to make a statement with this game after what happened last weekend because they need to prove that they can overcome adversity, even if it's self-inflicted. But I don't think Belima is going to let that happen. I think Belima is on a roll. And, what do you think?
Yeah, I was going to start talking about Illinois because they excite me way more than having any thought on Michigan State right now. But all right, I'm going to go kind of hard on Michigan State here. Michigan State is lucky to have even 3 wins thus far. I honestly don't think it would matter if they had 0. Michigan State sunk to a whole new level of bad against Michigan. We talked about, or I think we're going to talk about Michigan's troubles in the red zone. They hit field goal after field goal. It was still enough to beat Michigan State by 3 scores, which is just crazy. I'm not sure a team has ever imploded quite this much after going 11-2 last season with a New Year's Six Bowl win. And, obviously having a running back who was shafted out of a trip to New York. I mean, he should have gone to New York for the Heisman Trophy. They're not going to beat Illinois. Illinois is going to get 3 in a row. Michigan State does not have a consistent running attack, and Illinois is one of the best at defending that. So Peyton Thorne will have to use his arm a lot, which makes them vulnerable to turnovers, and Thorne's got 8 of those, including a backbreaker against Michigan, just when they seem to finally get something figured out on offense in that game. So things just really do not look good for Mel Tucker right now at all.
Yeah. The other side of the equation is Illinois. Illinois hasn't been 7-1 since 2001. They're only 1 game behind Michigan and Ohio State, which I thought was pretty interesting because right now Michigan and Ohio State are 8-0. Illinois is 7-1. You would think there would be a wider gap. I mean, Penn State is 6-2, and they're a higher ranked team than Illinois. Belima's really got something special going on over there at Illinois. This has been a great season. They've got a solid handle on winning the West Division at this point. Going to the Big Ten championship would be another first for this team. So, like you said, Illinois excites me more than any other team in the West Division right now. I'm rooting for them in this game, and not just because they're playing against Michigan State, but because something really cool is happening there. They're working hard. They're winning. They're doing things Illinois hasn't done before, or at least in a long time. And I think they have all of the momentum. Plus, it's a home game. So I think the real question is, Is the 17-point spread too low?
Well, you'll find out when I make my call. So I'll just leave it here. Yeah, talk about the surprise of the Big Ten. And they're not doing it with like a reckless, high flying, gung ho offense. They're doing it by playing incredibly well on defense. So they are currently the number one defense in the nation in points allowed at just 8.9 per game. Offensively, they're actually underachieving just a little bit. They're only averaging 26 points per game. And I say it's underachieving because if you look at the amount of yards they put up per game, 409, you'd think that they'd probably score a lot more points. At least that's how I would think. Obviously, Michigan proved that with even just scoring field goal after field goal, you can still crush Michigan State. So I don't know whether or not that'll matter with Illinois this particular game. But that being said, barring any sort of a slip up, that's almost certainly not going to happen. They're going to be playing for the West Division title next week against Purdue. So this is an interesting couple of games coming up for Illinois, and that's just really exciting for them.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah.
The team rivalry top secret score predictor also believes in Illinois. Illinois 35. Oop, that way. Michigan State 3.
Oh, wow.
Who
Nothing.
needs special effects? Let's just do this.
I like the little Sputnik beep you did there for a second, too.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, never mind.
I couldn't think of any funny names to come up with for Illinois because I just kind of ran out of brain power after Sean Clifford and his friends. So, but I do think that they're going to win a blowout. I'm taking the Illini 45-14.
All right.
Yeah. Boom.
Boom.